Well, the hit CBS crime drama Blue Bloods follows 3 generations of a tight-knit family of New York City law enforcement officers. And Donnie Wahlberg co-stars as Detective Danny Regan. In tonight's episode, he tries to take down a Russian mob boss.
He's gonna let you take the hit for that one, too. When all you really probably only did was just hold the guy down. Grushenko took a blowtorch to him and stuck a knife right in the side of his head and jammed it in, and jammed it in, and he jammed it in right through his skull and into his brain.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. But you're not gonna give up Grushenko, are you? No, because you're like a son to him.
Donnie Wahlberg, good morning. You're one tough cookie in this show.
Yeah. My mother's probably laughing that you said that right now.
How do you keep it light, though? Because I mean, you're obviously very serious in the show, and Danny is a real intense character, but you got a much softer side, right?
Well, you know, I'm working in New York, so first and foremost, I can't walk around the set trying to be a tough guy, because all the crew guys will give, you know, they'll knock it off, Wahlberg. You know, they're not going for that stuff. But I got to keep it light. It is pretty intense on set some days.
Have the crew guys received it? Have the people of New York received you well? I mean, you're a full-blooded Boston guy.
They've received me incredibly well. I mean, we're out in the streets shooting. I mean, people are very supportive and amazingly supportive, especially for a Boston guy. When the Patriots and Jets were playing, it got a little ugly. But generally speaking, everybody's been great. And I'm really proud to be working in New York. I mean, especially representing the New York Police Department. They really are. I mean, having played in Times Square on New Year's Eve with New Kids and Backstreet Boys. I mean, to see, you know, this city is probably the center of the earth at any given moment. You know, if anybody wants to target anywhere on the earth, they target New York City. When you see who the New York Police Department are and the firefighters too, I mean, they're people who grew up in the neighborhood and they're protecting the center of the earth, you know, and they're pretty amazing.
Don't call them the finest for nothing, right?
Absolutely.
Well, let's talk about NKOTBSB. Yeah. New Kids on the Block and Backstreet Boys, you guys are getting together, and you got a press conference up in Boston today, and you're launching this tour. This is, give me a little background.
Well, the tour has actually been launched, but we're announcing, I'm not supposed to tell yet, but since I'm here, I might as well. We're going to play Fenway Park, which is, you know, for a Bostonian is really, you know, it's the ultimate, and we're going to announce that show today, and I'm heading up now. I'm supposed to try to beat the snow, but I saw the snowflakes coming, so it's going to be a mad dash.
We'll get you ahead of that. We'll have Marty's Hall chart a course for you. I mean, the response, I know originally it was 24 dates, and then I guess Live Nation said through overwhelming response for tickets, you had to extend it to 41 dates.
It's been incredible, yeah. I mean,
did you think at this stage? I mean, wow.
Well, you know, we've been surprised. I mean, with Blue Bloods, you know, I'm humbled all the time by any success. You know, I think, you know, the New Kid success at an early age was very humbling, and my father told me many years ago, you know, kid, if you ever make it big and you ever change, you come home here, you're gonna have a problem with me. And and I think my brother Mark and I specifically have really held on to that. You know, we grew up with really not a lot, and I think we worked very hard because we're afraid somebody's gonna come in and take it all away from us one day.
You guys have made it pretty big.
Yeah.
Can I ask you about your brother Mark? Yesterday, the Oscar nominations, you got a producer nomination, but what did you think about being snubbed in the Best Actor department?
You know,
go ahead.
You know, it would have been nice if he got nominated. It would have been nice. But, you know, he got one last year or the year before for The Departed. So I think Holly would say, spread out, kid. He can't give you too much too quick. But he did a great job in the movie, and we're all proud of him. And, you know, and Christian Bale got one, and Amy Adams, and Melissa Leo, and I mean, it was a great movie.
Movie is great. Yeah. Movie is great. Donnie, thanks so much. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Continued success. Really appreciate it. Good to talk to you.
You too.
And you can see Blue Bloods in its new time slot tonight, 9 Central, right here on CBS. Check it out. It's a great show. We'll be right back. You're watching The Early Show here on CBS.